words be your words, and yours be mine. Celebrate our union in this special time. Oh, here now, here now, savoring the feeling as we breathe into this space, in this perfect moment, in this perfect place. Here now, here now, world of grace, celebrate blessed vow. Hey, now, let's enjoy the miracle that brought us here somehow, dissolving any obstacle from being present here and now. Oh, here now, here now. Brush away the things that stand between ourselves and love, connecting with the oneness within and up above. Oh, here now, here now. Well, it's a world of grace. Now let's celebrate blessed vow. Hey, now, now, now. Here, that's it. Here now, two more. Here now, here now.
Let's take a moment of reflection. We are here. We are now, in this moment. We have arrived. We are showing up in this place, in this time, with this community. We are here now. Now is the moment that we have, the experience we are gifted with in each now moment. Now that's full of possibility, potentially infused with what we bring to it, the consciousness of love now, a consciousness of sufficiency now. We bring to this moment an energy of kindness and grace. All that has brought us to this point, to this now moment, is now simply a story, an illusion. In this now moment, there really is nothing to forgive. All that exists is now. We are willing and we are open. Any thoughts about what we call the future, inspired or worrisome, are a story. Our power stands in this now moment, full of potentiality to create all that is ours. So much opportunity here. Unlimited potential in this now moment, in every now moment, the only now moment that we truly live. We're here now, and so it is.
Love shines in your eyes and in the smile upon your face. Walking here in beauty, in our day-to-day with grace. Here now, here now, here now, here now.
The aspen tree, with her branches new and her reach humble, whispered into the ever-listening breeze, "My path appears long and my task daunting. Surely such a grand destiny has never been navigated by one of such limitation." And in the same moment that her final word escaped, the response of 1,000 voices arose. You are a part of us, and we are a part of you. For each of us is an emanation of the same root, an ancient and timeless root of love, wisdom, and plenty, forever pressing itself into form as our brothers and our sisters, stretching across this grand mountain. You see, little tree, the same great root which presses itself into form as you bestows its rich honoring upon your ancestors and your descendants alike. So, the fullest potentials of the grandest aspen, brushing the very edges of eternity itself with their yellow leaves, are available through you as well. The same ancient root which is forever pressing itself into visible form as our brothers and our sisters neither requires your struggle nor your petitions, your worry. For the same ancient root exists beyond the world of beginnings and endings and earthly harm. Even drought and fire and careless children who would swing from the most delicate of the branches are incapable of touching her eternal heart. You are a part of us, and we are a part of you. And in those moments when you might forget, we will remember for you.
I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. A child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender.
Good morning, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here with you. Stacy is out of town for the weekend, so I'm filling in with her. And it's delightful to see all of you. So the kids, the teens are going to be preparing some really awesome, amazing hospitality for you today. So we look forward to seeing you out there. And the little ones are going to get to go on a walk. I don't know if you know that in collaboration with the preschool that operates here throughout the week, they've been developing some nature trails on this property that we now own. So the kids are going to get to go out on a nature walk today. So I also want to give a shout out to Rafe Pearlman, the musician who's here. Many of you have probably heard me say this, but Rafe was the first person that told me about Unity in Lynnwood. That was 4 years ago this month, actually. So I am eternally grateful. Not only has Rafe's music been a huge part of my spiritual journey in many ways, but that's what led me here, so thank you.
All right. Thank you for being our family. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for blessing and teaching us. God bless you. Amen. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender.
Well, welcome and good morning, everyone here at Unity in Lynnwood. We're so very glad that each of you are here. What a great way to start a morning with some great music, inspirational reading, and those lovely faces of those kids and their teachers. That's a nice way to start a day. I feel good already. Yeah. If you haven't got this message yet already, I want you individually to know that you are arms wide open, welcome into this place, into this community at any level that you would like to participate. Our hearts and our arms are open to you, no matter your situation in life, no matter where you have come from, no matter your religious tradition you've grown up with or no religious tradition whatsoever. This is a place that, if you would like, you can call home and enter into in ways that enliven your life, that you have an opportunity to give support to others and receive that support as well. We love that you are here today. You know, we live in a world, you may have noticed, of opinion. There's a lot of opinions out there. I have mine, you have yours. There's a sea of opinions that we're floating in, it seems, each day. We have opinions about what to eat, what to wear, what others are wearing, how their hair is, what the facial hair looks like on their face or not. We have opinions about people's jobs, people's relationships. We have opinions about whether we or someone else is up for a task or whether that task should be done at all. Opinions, 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 yes? Lots of them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because opinions can be helpful, those that we've created and nurtured for ourselves and that we hear from other people, that we offer to other people, can be uplifting and inspiring and encouraging. And there's also those opinions, either that we hold for ourselves or one another, that can be at times discouraging or detracting or potentially leading us off the path that we thought that really is ours to have. You know those kinds of opinions? The nature of opinions is that there's so many of them that we couldn't please all of them anyway, right? So we must acknowledge the nature of that is that we live in them, and there must be a tool to help us sort through that we can find our way. One of the primary benefits of this tool that we call prayer here at Unity in Lynnwood is that we have a way to make our way through such opinions and ideas and offerings to us in our life so that we can find a deeper sense of wisdom, of guidance, of alignment for our path, our way within that. It may be that we are releasing again an old idea of ourselves, an old opinion, or we may be releasing an idea of someone else, or we may be taking someone else's opinion and saying, I feel like that's aligning with my greater self, and I'm going to bring that into my greater wisdom to help me on my path. So, prayer is that sorting mechanism that we can help ourselves with and one another with as well. There's several ways that we support you here with prayer here at Unity in Lynnwood. There is a prayer slip in the seat back in front of you, a prayer request card, and you can write your prayer on that, put it in the offering basket as it goes by later in the service, knowing that that gets a lot of prayer attention here, lots of prayer support, seeing the divine good in each of those situations that you inscribe on that. If you have a need on your heart or a joy on your heart that you would like to have support in prayer here, you can call anytime during the week and be supported by our prayer team, or you can leave a prayer request on our website as well. And of course, if you would like to meet with one of our prayer chaplains at the end of service, you can come up to the front of the sanctuary, and they would love to meet you in a time of personal prayer. They are wearing purple prayer stoles around their neck, and that will help you recognize them, but we'd also like to recognize them right now. Could you stand if you're a prayer chaplain so we can say hello to you and thank you for your service? Myrtle Fillmore says this about prayer in line with what we're thinking about. Prayer is an exercise to change our thought habits and our living habits, that we may set up a new and better activity in accord with the divine law rather than the suggestions we have received from various sources. With our denial and affirmation, we have a process of releasing and welcoming, releasing and inviting. Today's denial and affirmation is here, and I will read it once, and as I do, let's take this in, and then I'll invite you to join with me in it. Knowing that the infinite cannot be divided against itself, I affirm that nothing can be against me. All that is for me, and I build my house on solid ground. Would you like to stand with me, share these words, and together? Knowing that the infinite cannot be divided against itself, I affirm that nothing can be against me. All that is for me, and I build my house on solid ground. And so it is. Let's take a minute to greet one another, and we're coming back for some great music.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we're meant to be. We are love, we are one, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, come on. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on the feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Just be reminded who we're meant to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Thanks, Steve. Let's give a hand for Steve Mason here. Special music today, and our musicians. And we love it when Rafe Pearlman is in the house. Many of us know Rafe Pearlman. Woo, woo. You may know this or you may not know this. I'm going to tell you some stuff about Rafe. With over 20 years of experience as a professional singer, Rafe Pearlman was launched into the general greater public eye in 2012 with an appearance on America's Got Talent. That was very cool. You have talent. I'm just saying. Rafe is the lead singer with William Close and the Earth Harp Collective. Rafe was featured at the 2017 Festival of Film Composers in Spain, where he performed with the full orchestra. His voice is featured on many soundtracks, including films on Netflix and DirecTV, and NBC series, and video game soundtracks. This guy has got it going on. We love whenever Rafe comes to bless us with his voice and his presence here at Unity in Lynnwood. So let's join him in a warm UI welcome to say hello today.
Bless your hearts.
Would you send me a prayer? Oh, with that fire that you're burning there. Are you burning for the beloved? Would you send me a prayer with that fire that you're holding there? Are you holding for the beloved? Beloved, be loved and come. Know that you are loved. You gotta know it. Beloved, be loved and come. Know that you are nothing but love, nothing but love, nothing but love. And I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. Oh, I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. Take away everything that keeps me from you. Take away every wall. Love is a river and let it flow into you. Take me into your holy arms, as I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. Sing it out. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. Always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. In all ways. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. Sing it out. Oh, I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. Always be in love and you love with you. I am in love with you always. Always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. One more time. I am in love with you. I am in love with you always. Sing it out once more. I am in love with you. I am in love with you all.
Oh, bless your hearts. I sent out a bunch of songs to figure out, what we do today. And last minute, I remembered that song, and I was like, oh, maybe they'll pick that, and they did. And another one that we were talking about that I never get tired of singing this song is the Aramaic Lord's Prayer. Yeah. If there's one prayer that I would sing now until my dying day, it would be a beautiful prayer of our teacher Jesus. And with today, I was inspired. I was just out by the coast, and I have some recordings of whales, local whales from the Salish Sea, our beautiful Puget Sound, that a friend of mine made field water recordings of. So I'd like to sing the Lord's Prayer a little different today with the whales. And I'm sure some of you remember last year we had the sad story of a whale, a baby being born and not making it, and the mother taking her child around for 11 days or more. I don't remember how many days it was, but just recently a new whale was born and is surviving, and so that's something to be thankful of. I invite you just to close your eyes and go into that sea of sound. Commune with our brothers and sisters of the sea.
Wow. Thank you, Rafe. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Unity in Lynnwood. Dr. Richard and Matthew are taking some well-deserved R&R. So I also want to say good morning to our Facebook crowd. And why don't we all turn around and say good morning, Dr. Richard and Matthew, because they might just be there watching us from warmer climes. Blessings, blessings on your vacation. Unity's in Lynnwood's mission statement, practical spirituality, welcoming community. Wow, those are 4 powerfully packed words. They say a lot. And there's more to it. We have a list of supporting mission statements. And if you ever want to see them all in one place, just head to our website at unityinlynnwood.org and click on mission statement. But the one I decided to highlight today says, we teach the unity of all life, transcendent of culture, era, or religion, or lack thereof. We have an ambassador at every service. We have 2 ambassadors at this service. And their role is basically to answer any questions that you might have about anything at all. They know everything. They are wise souls that I personally sit at the feet of. Nan Allen is our ambassador for the 11 o'clock service, and Elaine Sharples. Elaine Sharples is sitting in the back. She heads our chat table in the Friendship Hall, so feel free to visit her there after service. So, all right, y'all, pull out your phones. This is the only time you're ever going to be allowed to do this in church, all right? So you know you want to, pull your phones out. So we have upcoming Chocolate Cabaret, an evening of decadence. And if you have the Unity in Lynnwood app, you may just touch it. If you don't have the Unity in Lynnwood app, just go to the little app thing on your phone and you can download it for free. And we have a picture of it up here, and all you have to do is tap on that featured button in the lower right-hand corner, and up pops the registration for the upcoming Chocolate Cabaret, which is Friday, February 15th at 7 p.m., featuring our own wonderful Matthew Wilson and Christina Brewer. Tickets are $25. You can register in the gift shop, or if you're doing credit card only, I will take your registration after service. And starting next month, our local humanitarian outreach team will be collecting diapers on the first 3 Sundays of February. So bring in your diapers. Might go get some new ones. Yes, new diapers. So today is the first Sunday of a new series that Dr. Richard has entitled Back to Basics. Back to basics. Does that conjure up for anyone going back to school after summer break or winter break and having the teacher say, now class, today we will review the basics of addition and subtraction, maybe a bit of multiplication, a little division, to make sure your basics are solid. Yes? A question, Reginald? Yes, I do understand that this is advanced calculus, but the basics, you know, are fundamental. So, but unity back to basics, boring? Never. This is how Dr. Richard built this series. You are an individualized expression of an unlimited universal beingness, and so is your neighbor. Effectively, this statement represents Unity's first 2 core teachings. Just imagine how our perceptions of self might evolve as we come to grasp our individual nature as unlimited. What would happen to our small estimations, our clinging fears, our old stories? And just imagine how our perception of others might evolve as we come to grasp our collective nature as one. What would happen to those small estimations, those clinging fears, those old stories as they have been projected onto our brothers and sisters alike? And as those perceptions evolve, just imagine the new ways of being. Just imagine. Yeah, it's big. That's the power of back to basics. I've got to have a little fun, you know. I've got to tell you that I love going back to basics. And so when Dr. Richard told me what the topic was for these first 5 weeks of the year, I got super excited. You know how when you read a book, and then a year later you pick it up again and read it again, and it's a whole new book? It feels like a different book. That's how going back to basics should be. Each time we return, there's something new, revealing to us where we've grown in our understanding and giving us a new opportunity to continue to deepen. And so I'm excited to start this new year together with all of you, revisiting our core teachings to see where we are on our own personal walk and perhaps discover some new insights. Personally, I love how unity or new thought principles build logically, I'm a Virgo, upon each other, creating a firm foundation. And I love for me how this allows my heart and my mind to work together. So today we'll be talking about unity's first principle. Unity teaches that God is the source and creator of all, that there is no other enduring power, that God is good and present everywhere. It can also be said these ways: God is all there is, God is infinite, God is one. Unity's second principle is I am, and we'll be talking about this next week. For me, these two principles or tenets are inseparable because logic has it that if God is all, then clearly I must be of God because I am a part of the all, and that's some pretty juicy stuff. But today's topic is unity's first principle, God is. And while tenet 2 is juicy, tenet 1 is both juicy and foundational. Everything else we do and believe rests on this. And so let's bask together in some God is allness, in some infinite oneness. God is. Truly, this first principle is really all we need to know. If we get this, if we truly get this, everything else falls into place. It's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to intellectually get it. And it's an entirely another thing to have it in the very fiber of your knowing. The efficacy of everything we teach here at Unity rests upon having that firm foundation of knowing that we cannot, no matter how hard we try, be separate from God. And that means deeply, profoundly getting it into our bones that there is only one something, one infinite something back of all that we see that appears to be separate. And I think for many of us, this journey of understanding begins intellectually. Not all of us. I mean, there are some of us who wake up one morning like Eckhart Tolle and we're there. But for more of us, it seems like we take it in bits. We read about infinite, about oneness, we talk about it, we immerse ourselves in this idea, we meditate on it, and then our steady, committed work begins to bring it into lived form. We first believe it, then we know it, and then we live it. And so let's begin by seeing if we can understand infinite, at least to the best of our ability as finite beings, because being finite, we will never truly understand the infinite. But as Ellen Debeport says, we can know it and sense it, and we can learn to trust it. I love how life works. During my early studies in New Thought, I was deep into my wrestling with a passage from Ernest Holmes' book, Science of Mind, and that passage was, "The infinite must be one, for there could not be two infinites." And I was starting to feel like this whole infinite thing was making sense when I had a conversation that led to a spiritual crisis. It happened while I was working as a waitress. It was on a Friday morning, and my customer was a multiple PhD mathematician engineer genius. And somewhere between my serving him coffee and blueberry pancakes, we started talking about, the usual kind of stuff, infinity. Or in actuality, he was talking about infinity while I stood there with a cooling coffee pot and a blank stare. Most of it went so far over my head that I couldn't even feel it ruffle my hair. But his insistence that mathematics proved that infinite didn't exist, and thus God didn't exist, sent my barely stacked building blocks scattering to the four winds. But love and life, as it turned out, this was really just incentive for me to dig in some more and to get really solid in my knowing of oneness. So after quite a bit of reading and listening and researching, I reached the rudimentary, and I will underline rudimentary, understanding that there are, very generally speaking, two kinds of infinite. The first is a quantitative or a counting infinite. For example, if we were to start counting, we could go as long as we like, and we would only get to a finite number within a finite amount of time because we are having a finite, or at least a perceived finite, experience. Even if we counted every second of every day until we took our last breath, we would never reach infinity because we would end before it would. This is quantitative. This is a quantitative infinite. And according to Philip Clayton, a contemporary philosopher hailing from the Claremont School of Theology, Aristotle said that we have to banish the concept of infinite from the physical world if we're to do good science. It can't exist in the physical world because it is not finite. We can never reach it or count it. It is illogical, in fact impossible, to divide infinite in half in the world of mathematics. And he feels that if such a simple mathematical operation can't be applied to infinity, then there's no place for mathematics in the conversation about infinity. The other kind of infinite is qualitative or conceptual. It is back of what we can see. It is back of what we can count. Ernest Holmes says this about infinite. The axioms of reason declare that that which is infinite cannot be divided against itself. The infinite is therefore indivisible and consequently a perfect unit. Isn't it interesting that both Holmes and the mathematicians are saying the same thing? You can't divide infinite. Baruch Spinoza, a great Jewish philosopher who lived in the 1600s, laid out a very compelling ontological argument, concluding that there is only one substance in the universe. It is God, and everything else that is in God. God is the infinite, necessarily existing, that is, uncaused, unique substance of the universe. This substance must have infinite attributes, each of which expresses an eternal and infinite essence. And we, finite little beings, can't be separate beings, so we must be modes of the one. Psalm 139 puts it this way: where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. And quantum science is jumping on the boat. From the physics of God, and I quote, according to M theory, the most accepted version of string theory, most of the cosmos is a high-frequency energy realm, what author Selby Joseph calls the energy-verse, an effectively infinite ocean of energy. This ocean of energy is two-dimensional and non-local, meaning without time, space, and matter. The entire physical universe exists as a relatively tiny, three-dimensional space-time-matter bubble immersed in this energy verse. M theory's holographic principle states that all of the information that organizes the energies that form the physical universe resides in the interpenetrating non-local energy verse. And this information continuously projects the entire physical universe into being. Are you still with me? Me either. Catch me after service. I think I got a little deadline here. If not, that's okay, because here's what they're really saying. Science has caught up to what the sages have been saying for millennia. There is an infinite ocean or field of intelligent energy that is cause, and the created world is the effect. Or said another way, there is one power, one presence, one life back of everything, and out of which everything that exists arises. Whew. So what? A very good question. I'm glad you asked. First, by understanding that there is an infinite substance or infinite ocean of energy or ground of all being that we here in Unity choose to call God, we can come to know our oneness with God and with all of creation. We are not separate. We cannot not be of God. And in this oneness, we can know that God then expresses as us, for we are made of God's stuff. God does not stop at our skin. God cannot stop at our skin. Just because our eyes show a separate you from a separate me, it's easy to fall into that belief that we're separate. Even phrases like, I live and move and have my being in God, can quietly, sneakily conjure the image of us being kind of like fish, swimming in this sea of God, but that sea stops at our skin. It surrounds, but not is us. Even saying, I connect to God implies that we can be disconnected from God, but how could we disconnect from that which we are? Unity teaches us that God is right where you are, as you, because it cannot not be. We are not separate from it. We cannot be separate from the only thing there is, no matter how hard we try. It is an impossibility. There cannot be infinite and anything, not infinite and me, not infinite and you. Just one. Just oneness. There is only one God because God is infinite. And if God is everywhere, that also means there isn't just a tiny little teeny spark of God in you, because that would mean the rest of you and me isn't God. All of you, every particle, every molecule, every atom is all God all the time. Second, by knowing that God is infinite, we can begin to deduce something of its nature by looking at the world around us, which it created out of itself. From even that statement, we can deduce that it is creative. It is consciousness itself, because if it wasn't, then consciousness couldn't exist. From the intricate workings of creation, we can deduce that it is intelligence, because if it weren't, then intelligence couldn't be. We can deduce that it is love or harmony, because perfect harmony exists in all of its creation. We can see it in the workings of nature, down to the tiniest quark. Ellen Davenport, in her book, The Five Principles, writes, God is a field of love and intelligence, which is the foundation of the universe. And she expands on this by saying, Principle 1 affirms that God is all there is. God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. Not all-powerful, but all power. Not all-knowing, but all knowledge, and present everywhere. God is the stars, the rocks, the animals, the people. God is the love, creativity, the wisdom. All that we are and have is God, and we can never be separate from that universal power. Some people fear that thinking of God in this way as infinite, not as an all-powerful being that looks over us from a faraway heaven, strips us from having a personal relationship with God. Nothing could be farther from the truth. God being infinite means that God is also intensely intimate, because where you are, God has to be. God individuates as you. You can't get any closer than that. Ernest Holmes speaks to that in this way. We do not think of God as a tremendous person, but we do think of spirit as the infinite personalness in and through all life. To think of God simply as an infinite principle would be to resolve the divine being into an infinite it, a cold, impersonal law containing no warmth or color, and certainly no responsiveness. Such a concept of God would rob man of his divine birthright and throw him empty-handed into an abyss of law and action without motive or direction. No worse state of mentality could be imagined than one in which man thought of God as simply principle. The very fact that man comes from the universe in a self-conscious state proves that behind all manifestation, there is a power that knows itself, and a power that knows itself must be personal. It is my belief that understanding infinite is the bedrock of knowing our oneness with all that is, and knowing my oneness completely influences how I walk in the world. Knowing my oneness dictates how I relate to my partner. Did I just say dictates? Sorry about that. Knowing my oneness dictates how I relate to my partner, my kids, to other drivers on the road, to the planet, to animals, and to each of you. This is my bedrock. Any thread I pull for me must come from this foundation of infinite oneness. It's about peace and love, wisdom and harmony. It underpins how we see each other and how we treat each other. It's kind of like Unity's answer to, what's it all about, Alfie?
Is it just for the moment we live? What's it all about when you sort it out, Alfie? Are we meant to take more than we give? Or are we meant to be kind? And if only fools are kind, Alfie, then I guess it is wise to be cruel. And if life belongs only to the strong, Alfie, what will you lend on an old golden rule? As sure as I believe there's a heaven above, Alfie, I know there's something much more, something even non-believers can believe in. I believe in love, Alfie. Without true love, we just exist. Alfie, until you find the love you've missed, you're nothing, Alfie. When you walk, let your heart lead the way, and you'll find love any day. Alfie.
It is my belief that when we know our oneness, we discover that we are one with an achingly beautiful, harmonious whole. We are love. When we live from this consciousness of oneness, of love, we are kinder, more compassionate. We see that we're all in this boat together. We let our hearts lead the way. We live as one. I'd like to end with a line from a poem by Saint-Saëns called Trust in the Heart. The one is none other than the all none other than the one. Take your stand on this, and the rest will follow of its own accord. Let us move into meditation. when all is said and done, after all of our attempts to grasp at words, to get our finite heads around infinite ideas, after our attempts to explain the unexplainable, really getting that God is infinite and knowing our oneness comes down to a felt experience. Please settle into your chairs and allow your eyes to gently close. Put your attention on your breath and allow yourself to settle into this now moment. This meditation is from the book, The 5 Principles. I enter into the stillness to align myself with the one mind, the one presence that permeates all of creation. I feel myself as a part of this creation, connected to all of nature. I am the light and darkness. I am the oceans and the land. I am the rocks and the trees, the fish and the birds, the beasts of the earth. And I am one with every human being on the planet. In this oneness, I sense the order of all things. I feel the divine love that moves in me and every molecule of the cosmos. I know the divine intelligence that is the foundation of all that is or ever will be. I am one with all. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Nina. So much wisdom there for basics. You know how you said if you read a book a year later, you can sort of rediscover it for the first time. I just heard the same message an hour after first service. It was like, a mind blow in a different way. So thank you for that. Yeah. Now is a time where we come together as a community and we have the opportunity to give. We give in a variety of ways to Unity in Lynnwood, and we appreciate every gift given. Charles Fillmore says this about the power of giving. If we have freely received, we must also freely give to keep the substance going, confident in our understanding that our supply is unlimited, and always right at hand. Thank you for your gifts.
Thank you for your love and more, gifts untold, shelter from the cold. When I'm feeling sad or lonely, you let me know I'm not the only one who's ever been here. Thank you for your gifts and more. That's what I thank you for. Through all my noise, you've given me the choice. Though I complain sometimes about the cold rain, you pick me up so I can listen for a while to just the things that I've been missing in my life. Thank you for your gifts and more. That's what I thank you for. Oh, thank you for. Thank you for. Thank you your gifts and more. That's what I thank you for.
Let's join in this affirmation together as we bless these gifts. God is my source. God is our source. And that source supports the evolving, unfolding, soul-stirring idea that is unity in Lynnwood in miraculous ways. And so it is. This is such a fun community. We love the connections we get to experience every time that we are here. And we love to experience new connections as well. And so every Sunday we give the opportunity for anyone who might be visiting us for the first time just to have them recognize you with a round of applause. So anyone here for the first time? Anyone here first time? Folks, thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. In case you're new today or newish, you might see that in the seat back in front of you, there's a newcomer's information card and also a stay in touch card. The stay in touch card gives you an opportunity to either put your information for the first time or update your contact information, and that will result in a couple email messages each month. I love to get those in my inbox, a little inspiration and information about what's happening in this community. We have several announcements, and as always, for details to all of these, we can go to our welcome and information station for signups as well. Our prayer flower dedication today. There we are. Gorgeous. I love that color. They're by Nadine Pierre, and they are saying happy birthday to Fabi and Linda. Yes. Our prayer chaplains invite you to celebrate your divinity, a labyrinth service on Wednesday, January 16th at 7 o'clock. Walk into the mystery. Enter the labyrinth releasing. Exit the labyrinth bringing your light into the world. Spend sacred time in candlelight exploring this time of darkness for discovery, honoring your sacred self to shine brighter. Thank you, chaplains, for coordinating this effort. And Father Dan and Reverend Karuna of the Interfaith Mission of Saints Francis and Clare offer an inclusive Eucharist liturgy open to everyone, regardless of previous or present faith traditions or affiliations. Experience an accepting ritual in the Franciscan tradition of unity and hospitality. And all are welcomed and encouraged even to join your Board of Trustees on Sunday, January 27th, following the second service for our annual financials meeting, review recent fiscal performance, current position, and future budget of our beloved organization. And do you need a ride, a room share? Please consider using our community supporting community bulletin board that you'll find in Friendship Hall. And if you'd like to take some of Rafe home with you today, that's possible. He has some music and some artistic product available for you in Friendship Hall as well. Thank you for being here today, Rafe. What a blessing. All good things happening here at Unity in Lynnwood can be found in your printed program by going to our Facebook page or the calendar page of our website at unityinlynnwood.org.
Please rise as you're able, and we'll do our peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be
Unity in Lynnwood. Would you join me in a time of closing prayer? And please, our online community, join us as well. Would you do so by, if there's a name of any soul that you would like to speak into this powerful and palpable consciousness of love and support, please do so now, whether that's with your heart or with your tongue. And on behalf of those names spoken, and of everyone gathered within these walls, and of those with us online, let us know together in a most powerful way our oneness with the allness of God, with the allness of life, with the allness of love, with the allness of wisdom. And let that knowing of our oneness, let this experience of our oneness, let this knowing be transformative. Let us know together that anything that would pretend to stand in the way of a fuller expression of the capital G good that is God has no power in the presence of our oneness. And now together let's conclude with our words of benediction. There is one power and one presence in, through, and around all creation. So we go forth as the eyes of divine love, as the tongues of divine wisdom, as the hands of divine sufficiency, and the bold and ready hearts of divine love. Thank you very much for being here. What? So it is.